Rosako and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to talk about all the books that I started in 2021 and decided to put away and not finish because I either didn't like the writing style, I didn't like the story maybe, I didn't like the characters, I didn't like something and I didn't like it enough to actually stop reading. The first book that I want to talk about is an arc from Edelweiss. It is The Demon Equilibrium by Kathy Pagao. I made a couple of attempts and I just couldn't get past the 30%, I think 35%. This book is an FF Western romance with some supernatural elements. It was pitched as Wynonna Earp inspired, and I can definitely see that. Wynonna Earp is undeniably a Western, and I enjoy it, but I actually don't really like Westerns that much. And I think that is the crux of the issue that I have with this book. It is about people with powers that train to eliminate demons. They live in monasteries, and they usually work in pairs. One of the people is the source of power, and the second one is sort of like a conduit. They control the levels of the power. It's an interesting concept. This book is about two women. They are bonded, and in the past they had a romantic relationship, but in the present they were separated, and one of them doesn't remember anything. So there is an amnesia trope. I just dislike an amnesia trope also. And it's really hard to do it well, in my opinion. The problem that I had with this book is that it had two timelines. I really disliked the second timeline. I wanted them to continue to be in the first timeline when they just met and were trying to convince everyone that they needed to bond and their relationship started developing. It was actually fun. The second timeline bored me because I was supposed to feel all this angst about this couple, but I didn't know them enough to actually feel those things. And also I just didn't love it. I just didn't love it. So I wouldn't label this book as a bad book, but it was just not for me. I was not vibing with it. I was also trying to read more indie romances, more queer indie romances in 2021. And it's a hit or miss type of thing because some romances that you find on Amazon that are self-published are genius and amazing and lovely, and some are just not that good. The book that I want to talk about first in this category is Darkness Falls by Casey Luck. I was so excited when I found this. I was so excited. You have no idea. No, actually you can get an idea because I filmed a video, like a TBR video at the end of the year. Well, I was just gushing about the synopsis because it's a post-apocalyptic or rather apocalyptic book and it's an FF romance. So what I think happens from what I read is there's a huge power outage, not just locally in some cities or in one city, everywhere in the world. And the characters in this book help each other survive and they fall in love along the way. Very early on, I had a problem with it because it was actually about 4 people and it was deeply confusing. I wish it was just about one couple, but it's actually about 2 couples and the point of views are kind of confusing. I wouldn't be able to tell you much about this women. The storyline that I remember is one of the women was married for a long time and her husband either died or they divorced, and there's this other woman that had a crush on her in school and in the present they meet again. So this romance is also about 40 plus women, which is not my favorite. I don't really gravitate to romances about middle-aged people, so I DNF'd it. I DNF'd it because it was messy and I wanted it to be something different. I feel like if the order just focused on one couple, it would have been better. Another one that fits the category of indie romances that I didn't like is The Plus One by Natasha West. I wanted to check out her work for a while. I constantly see her on Amazon and she has really cute covers. I think she mostly writes romantic comedies and I love romantic comedies. So this one was supposed to be about a woman that needs someone to come with her to a wedding. I don't really remember why because it's been some time since I DNF'd it. But what I didn't like about the story is that it changed point of views mid-paragraph almost, which was very weird. So in my opinion, not the best writing decision. Also, the protagonist just didn't grip me, and I've read quite a few pages of this, actually. She was just so bland and so cliche. I just I didn't enjoy her. Not sure if I'm going to pick up any Natasha West in the future. Maybe I will. I need to figure out if this book, The Plus One, was an older book and she got better. The next book is from my physical TBR. It's The Drowning Girl by 𝕊𝕊𝕙𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻𝕻. I usually don't rate my DNFs, but I've read so much of this, I decided to rate it. I think I gave it 1. It deserves 1. This book was a mistake. It's a train wreck. It's so bad. I hate it. I don't understand the point. I don't understand the reason why it was written. It's not good. I understand that the writing choice was deliberate. I just don't think it was valid. So basically it's about this young woman named Imp who has some mental health issues and who believes that she met a woman in the forest, in the wilderness somewhere near a lake, and that this woman was a ghost. And in this book she's writing a story about her experience seeing a ghost. It sounds fascinating, especially considering that she's not very sure what actually happened, but the problem with not being sure what actually happened is that she constantly backtracks. So I reached about 50% of this book, and Imp, still at that point, had not told me this ghost appearance from start to finish. I don't have the time for this kind of pacing, especially considering that this book is supposed to be a thriller/horror, and there's nothing thrilling about it or that scary, and I'm a big scaredy cat, so I just don't understand what this book is trying to do. And I don't have the patience to figure it out. So, DNF. The next book is The Witch King by H.E. Edgman, which was a 2021 release. I really tried, because the synopsis was really cool. It's about fairies, it has a transgender protagonist. The protagonist escaped the fae world because of a marriage contract, and he lives among humans, which accepted him into their family. And at the start of the book, the fae prince that he was supposed to marry comes to collect him, to basically get him back into the fae world. What I want to say about this book is good concept, but the writing is very poor. I literally did not have enough information to imagine the rooms where scenes took place. It's as if they were written in a vacuum, like in completely white, empty rooms. And it bothered me a lot. I don't know why it didn't bother the editor. I think you're going to get better luck consuming it on audio, because this type of writing, like minimal writing, is better on audio usually, especially when it's from the first person point of view. I actually don't remember if it's from the first person or not. It doesn't matter. There's not enough detail for me to like this book. It's not rich enough. I really tried a few times and I had an arc of this, but I just couldn't get past that. The last book that I want to mention is one I marinated for so long. I think I picked it up in 2020 actually. It's Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. So the series was actually recommended to me as a lover of Six of Crows. And the interesting thing about this is that the first draft of the series was actually written before 𝕊𝕆ℙ𝕀𝔸𝕃 was picked up and published. So, proves that people have similar ideas, and that's fine. I don't actually think anything was wrong with this one. The writing style is very readable. It's okay. I liked the characters. I was just not feeling fantasy, and I realized that I don't remember much from the story because I started it in 2020. And I'm also not that interested in young adult fiction and young adult fantasy anymore, so I just decided to DNF it. If you think it's worth my time, tell me in the comments down below, because this is one book from this list that I would actually consider rereading or starting again, I guess. This is all the DNFs I remember. Sometimes I pick up books, read 2 pages and decide to read them later. It's not actually a DNF. I don't count these books as DNFs. Tell me in the comments down below about your DNFs, about your opinions on the books that I mentioned. Maybe you actually love them and they're your favorite, and that's totally fine. If you reach this part of the video, leave a black heart emoji in the comments down below, and I will see you soon with another video. But until then,